The Tournament of Power is upon us, and there's no better place to watch it than Verve, the official sponsors of the Super Reviews here on Geekdom 101, where you can watch Dragon Ball Super in beautiful high definition every single week, even if Crunchyroll gives you problems. Verve is a new platform from the same people who made Crunchyroll, and not just that, but there's also exclusive shows on Verve you're not going to get anywhere else, including Crunchyroll. And that includes every single episode of Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm not even kidding. Check it out, support Verve, let's get to the review. The gong has sounded and the Tournament of Power has begun between the 8 universes that are ranked lower than the other 4 on Super, episode 97, Ikino Kore, Sui ni Kaimaku Chikara no Taikai. That was pretty good, actually. That translates to survive. The curtain finally rises on the Tournament of Power. And when I say finally, I mean, yeah, we've been waiting quite some time for this tournament to begin. But remember, way back in the old days of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, arcs would be a hell of a lot longer than Super. Super arcs are really, really short compared to those of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. But still, we waited, and it's finally here. And let me tell you something right now. It was worth the wait. I'm completely out of breath after watching this episode. I'm going to watch this episode 4, 5, 6 more times. Look, I'm letting you know right now, this review is going to be total freaking... I'm going to try my best to do some play-by-play here, right, for this fight, this Rumble. It's going to be hard, all right, because we've never done anything like this before or seen anything like this before in Dragon Ball. I mean, the closest we came was like the Z Fighters against the Cell Juniors or the Big Rumble in Resurrection F and some of the movie fights. It's not something that happens in Dragon Ball very much, but I'm letting you know right now that I'm going to watch this episode 2, 3, 4 more times, and if I spot more topics to discuss on this episode in the future, I will go ahead and do that, like this week probably. So, like, just sit back and let's enjoy this episode together. If you have already seen it, you know how crazy this episode was. This is nuts, okay? So, like I said, I'm going to try and do some play-by-play here, and I will give you, of course, my thoughts as I go through this play-by-play. So, first thing we got to talk about, new intro, new outro. The song in the intro is the same. It's still Limit Break X Survivor, but Frieza is now in the intro. Majin Buu is out of here. Frieza's there now with the rest of the gang. The episode opened up with a really nice montage of everyone, and it started out pretty slow because what they did was they kind of were building up and reminding us, which is a very good idea by the directors and the writers of this show. They were reminding us kind of the rules and things like that. Like they showed, the big circular platform with the Grand Priest on it floating around, very creepy in this mysterious world of Void. They show the Zenos there who are watching the tournament from what literally resembles a porch, like an old retired couple. I thought that was a great touch. They go over the rules, like I said. The time limit's 48 minutes. The pole in the middle of the arena is like a clock, like a big sundial. Somebody said this to me on Twitter, and I don't know who you are, but you know who you are. Great prognostication on that one. I actually think I saw it in the comment section too, but I don't remember your name, so my apologies on that. But somebody told me that the whole arena was going to be a clock, and they were right. It is like a clock. So as this weird sun orb thing spins around the arena, obviously when the time runs out, we'll know based on how the arena looks and whatnot. So the Grand Priest goes over the whole thing about how there's no weapons flying unless you have wings, blah, blah, blah. We already know the rules already. We've talked about this a few episodes ago. Basic stuff, stuff like that. But again, I love the arena with the sun orbiting around or whatever that orb is. And the time thing, I love that. That shows that even though Dragon Ball has been around for so long, it's still really creative. It still does very creative things. And I thought that was really creative for them to do that. They have a really funny moment with Kale here where she's all scared and Khalifa's like trying to encourage her again, like, let it out to go berserk. I really like that character. I like the fact that Kale is so timid, so like scared. But when she unleashes, I'm telling you right now, I'm predicting this. I said it a few videos ago. I think, and I might do a separate video on it too, I think Kale is going to in a few episodes, explode and knock out a bunch of dudes. I'm thinking Kale might knock out like 10, 15 guys like out of the ring. So they have Frieza with these really creepy eyes, really excited. And then we have this segment of the episode where people are just talking trash to each other. Just talking trash. Both Beerus and Gohan want teamwork, but Vegeta and Frieza want none of it. They just want to go out there and have fun. So finally, Daishin Khan sounds the gong and the tournament begins. And then the episode gets too crazy to even keep track of, all right? Everybody charges into the center of the arena like a big stampede. There are explosions everywhere. You know, boom, 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 boom. Team Universe 7's just chilling. Goku spots Topo right away. And he wants Topo. Of course, Gohan's like, yo, you know, teamwork. And Goku's like, F that. So he goes after Topo. But the Universe, I think it was Universe 4 spy, Ganos, with the guy with the, remember the guy with the goggles? That guy? He gets in the way, so they start fighting. And the rest of Team Universe 7's like, what the hell? So they all spread out. Frieza starts firing random ki blasts at dudes. Like, he's just shooting ki blasts, not giving a damn who he's going to hit, even if it's one of his own teammates. I thought that was awesome. Ki blasts everywhere, energy blasts everywhere. The cyborgs from Universe 3 are doing their thing, including one of them who does a big tornado move. This was awesome. God, I love this episode. There were so many awesome parts. I'm losing my shit right here. This was what a great episode. There were so many awesome things about this episode. So, okay, screw it. I'm going to be a fanboy. I don't care. I don't care. Dragon Ball allows me to be a kid again. Just let me do it. Just let me do it. So, the cyborg dude's doing all these like spinning tornado moves, and then our boy Hit crushes this freaking dude. Ba-bam! And then he gets him from one side, Basal gets him from the other. Ba-bam! I love that. I love this idea of Hit and Basal saying, let's take this dude out. So Basal starts to fight with the fairy chick from Universe 10, and he eliminates her. Let me just say right now, because later on in the episode, actually right around here, Basal not only fights the fairy chick from Universe 10, but also the big sumo wrestler E-Honda looking guy. And he uses ki blast from his legs to push E-Honda back. I'm just calling him, his name's not really E-Honda. That's from Street Fighter 2, you know, or Street Fighter, the fighting game series. But he's a Yokozuna, you know, he's a sumo guy like E-Honda, so that's what I'm going to call him until we get an official name on this guy. So Basal was the MVP of this episode, in my opinion. He did so well. So many great scenes with him kicking ass. Now, a couple things I want to go over. The fairy chick gets eliminated by Basal, and when you get eliminated, you do not die. So that rumor about you dying and disappearing when you get eliminated, that's BS. What happens is you get transported to the bleachers where the gods sit. You know, there's a big section of bleachers around the arena. That's where you go. You get teleported there. You do not die. As a result of this, I was thinking, as a result of that, I don't think the destruction of the universes is going to happen until after the tournament, which could lead to a conflict. In fact, I'm wondering if they could do something where maybe when the tournament is over, Zeno changes his mind and says, I really don't want to destroy the universe because I had so much fun watching this. And maybe the other Zeno is like, well, wait a minute. No, we have to do it. And that could lead to a conflict. Again, don't know. I'm just speculating right now. But just based on this, I'm thinking that we're not going to see the universes get destroyed as the fight progresses. It's going to be after the fight's already over when they kind of get back together and it happens. So speaking of Zeno, they show the two Zenos together and they have this cheat sheet on like a tablet computer, and they're sitting there looking at it. And I wish they gave all of us that to keep track of this shit. I really wish they would. Fizez on Twitter, if I messed up your name, I'm sorry. He called it a Pokedex, and that's a pretty accurate thing because it kind of looks like a modern Pokedex, you know. Very cool stuff. I love the style of Dragon Ball, the creativity. I've talked about it ad nauseum. So we then have this crazy montage where Android 18's fighting the female Pride Trooper, Vegeta, Frieza, Goku, all in action, fighting different dudes. Apparently, other fighters know that they're Saiyans because somebody refers to Gohan as a Saiyan. We see a cool little scene of the Universe 7 guys doing all their signature moves, like Piccolo and Krillin. They're doing all their signature moves. And it did remind me of the Resurrection F Rumble, very much so. But the other universes are still standing. So these guys that came to fight are not all going to be jabronis. You know, Botamo's there, guys who we know, guys who we don't know. They're not going down easy, and we know how tough Botamo is. Goku had to drag him by his feet to throw him out. He couldn't do it with power. Maybe he could, but he never really tried. Botamo has a lot of durability. He's going to be a tough one. They're going to have to probably leverage him out somehow like what Goku did. So, again, the basal thing happens with the sumo guy. I love how the guy uses his knuckles. He drags it into the arena to try and stop him from going out. I love Basal. Basal has won me over with this episode. So we have Goku fighting the spy guy, deflecting ki blast, and then as everything's going on, there's explosions everywhere. Goku and Toppo make eye contact. But Toppo has his hands full with the buff Universe 10 guy, the guy we saw, the big orange dude or whatever. So then Goku sees Jiren. And very cool stuff. So Goku sees Jiren. One guy, this is funny. So this one dude appears and tries to attack, I guess he's going to attack Jiren. And all Jiren does is just stare at him, and the dude's like, fuck this, and he leaves. I thought that was awesome, dude. He just looks at him, and he's like, you know what? I'm not fighting this dude. Peace. Jiren didn't even do nothing except look at this guy. Crazy. I don't even know what to tell you. And even the Zenos were impressed. Even the Omni Kings were like, whoa, this dude's pretty strong. Of course, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that they've been pushing Jiren as the main rival. I don't want to say antagonist because he's not really a villain from what we see, but he is the main rival of Goku in this tournament. Much like how Hit was Goku's main rival in the previous tournament, I think Jiren will take that spot and has taken that spot for this tournament. So, while all this is going on, Goku sees Jiren. He's mesmerized by him, of course. And from behind, this big green guy grabs Goku. And, the guy's, laughing at Goku, and Goku's, trapped. He's got him in a reverse bear hug from behind from Universe 4. So, he's trying to grab Goku and drag him out of the arena by force. But Goku transforms into blue, ba-bam, and the guy gets knocked out. So Beerus is like, why don't you just go blue all the way? And then Goku's like, well, I want to conserve my power. So, yeah, I figured Goku wasn't going to go into blue the entire time. So the episode kind of ends with a interesting cliffhanger where Goku, after throwing the dude out, he gets surrounded by a bunch of different dudes from different universes, including the trio of Dangers, Basal, Bergamo, Lavender, and a few other fighters. And the whole cliffhanger is, oh man, Goku may have to take on these 3 guys by himself and all these other guys. There's about 7 or 8 guys surrounding Goku. He may have to fight them all by himself. And we know how tough the trio of Dangers are. We saw the preliminaries. Those guys are definitely tough, but Goku's also been training, so it might be a piece of cake for Goku. I don't know if it will be, but Goku's got some trouble. I really hope we see more of Jiren in the coming weeks as well, because I think they're still teasing us with him. We haven't seen anything yet. Let's see what happens. So, the episode ends. This is crazy. The episode ends with the narrator saying there are 47 minutes left, which means that entire, 3/4 of an episode that we just got done watching, that was 1 minute. That was 1 minute. Does this mean that this tournament is going to be 30 or 40 episodes? I think it's possible. We are going back to the 5 minutes on Namek with Frieza time. I feel like they're doing that again here because all that stuff that just happened, and it's only been 60 seconds, dude. Dragon Ball is wacky, all right? It's wacky. I almost feel like they're doing it on purpose to make fun of the 5 minutes on Namek. I actually feel that way, but I'm okay with it. It really doesn't bother me. I know some people are going to be pissed about it, but when you think about it, these fighters are moving at beyond light speed. Without question, they are. At this point in the series, Goku, who knows about Jiren? Who knows how fast he is? They tease it a lot. So it makes sense to a degree, right? Maybe not the talking part, but a minute, again, it's wacky Dragon Ball. Doesn't bother me at all. If it bothers you, let me know in the comments down below. Also, new ending song. Brand new ending song this week, and it's really, I love it. It's beautiful animation. They show all the teams, and it actually ends with Goku and Gohan flying at the screen. That was really cool, and I wonder if that means that Gohan is going to be one of the finalists. I did a video several weeks ago about how I have a theory that Gohan may actually be the winner of this thing. I have a theory that Goku is going to be involved in the final part of the tournament, but he's not going to get his hand raised. I think Gohan may get his hand raised, and I'm going to tell you how in that video, which I will link at the end of this one. Go watch that. Also, yesterday I did a video about the connection between the living and the dead world. You got to watch that if you haven't. Show that video some love. And also check out the video I did earlier today with Seth the Programmer about power scaling in Super and why it's so hard, and Dragon Ball characters being strong. So next week, more action. I'm going to cover it in my preview like I always do. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got for you. Thumbs up episode. So much fun to watch. So many things going on. I'm going to love revisiting this one 2 or 3 more times. There was so much, and it was really well animated too. I really liked it. And so check it out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, like I said before, check out Verve. They have every Yu Yu Hakusho episode, every Dragon Ball Super episode. If you're having trouble watching the episode tonight and Crunchyroll's being weird, because I'm expecting a big influx of viewership tonight on Crunchyroll. If it's giving you problems, it hasn't done it too much, but if it does, check out Verve. There's a link down below. You can sign up for a free trial, and you get tons of other content, dubbed anime, subbed anime, non-anime, TV shows. Check out Verve, the supporter, the sponsors of the Geekdom 101 Dragon Ball Super reviews. Thank you guys so very much, as always, for your support. Have a happy and safe 4th of July weekend if you celebrate that. And I will see you guys tomorrow.